Just as we said, Skyline is the big picture, cityscapes represent the reality on the ground. New York is the closest thing I have to a hometown, so we'll use that example. If your skyline looks something like Manhattan, great, you're done, right? You recognize it, it becomes your reality. But different parts of your organization are going to have a very different experience of that same reality. For example, marketing teams very rarely have the same dynamics as a finance team or as your product development team. They're all these individual subcultures that are part of this shared big vision. So going back to New York City as a metaphor, the reality of someone living and working in Manhattan, let's say around Times Square, is going to be very different than the reality of somebody working in the Bronx or Brooklyn or Long Island. And that's the truth for every organization of above a decent size. You're going to have people whose day-to-day life is going to look and sound very different, even with the shared skyline. So we call that cityscapes. And we ask people to intentionally design the vibe or feel of their day-to-day team dynamic, their culture. And every team is going to have some elements that are borrowed part of the big picture, but they will also have their unique variation. And as long as those choices are intentional and visible, you will have not just alignment, but convergence, because people feel honored and respected for what they need for their day-to-day life while being part of this aspirational big picture. So Cityscapes is ultimately the reality on the ground that Skyline represents. So they have a very shared purpose, but they are still two different products because you first have to agree on the big picture. This is who we all are and want to be. Great. Then we come back to the day-to-day reality. What did our work look like? What does our day-to-day work life look like? And that is your cityscape representation. The added bonus of doing cityscapes differentiation at the team level is it makes it easier for cross-team collaboration. Without really knowing the individuals involved, if you know a team self-assembled cityscape, you have a fairly good idea what matters to them, how to approach them, how to work with them. Cityscapes translates localized cultures, which really optimizes not just for collaboration, but true partnership. Who am I? Who are you? Okay, we're looking a little bit different, but that differences are part of our strength. So that's where Cityscapes makes real the vision of Skyline in a way that reflects the day-to-day work.